All right. People, we are here. It is Wednesday. We're back for another episode of The Experience. I am Drew, and with me here, as always,
Justin from Spinebuster Tees and spinebustertees.com.
all right, like I mentioned to anyone that is here, it's gonna really not too much to talk about other than like one big piece of news that's kind of been on everyone's mind since last week. And that is, of course, Karrion Kross, which we talked about last week kind of extensively. I mean, not extensively. We had a nice little chunk of a conversation regarding his contract situation.
Yeah.
Now it's a new week. A lot has happened since then. And as you can already tell, we're just gonna jump into it. I know we like to do our what do we like to talk about thing, and this is kind of the thing I want to talk about. Is Mr. Karrion Kross's contract situation. So on Sunday was when his contract expired. Him and Scarlett. He even had a video on YouTube, part 2 of his documentary, which was titled "Today My Contract Expires," which is pretty self-explanatory. And it was a pretty good documentary. Kind of similar to Bret Hart's Wrestling, with Shadows documentary, except his probably ended less tragic. I mean, it still kind of had a bummer ending, however you choose to view it. But yeah, it's part 2 was leading up to his match with Sammy at SummerSlam, which presumably is probably his last match in WWE, if you choose to think that way. And overall, it was a pretty good documentary. You got to see a different side of Kross. Interacting with the fans. He comes off as a very nice, very humble guy. He comes across as almost like a man of the people, which is the complete opposite of his character on television, which his character on television is a little bit more darker, more of kind of like this sinister, not really supernatural, I guess like goth, kind of dark metal guy, where in real life he's just this very humble, almost like a man of the people type of person. And he comes off great. Scarlett comes off great. If you guys haven't seen it, look it up on YouTube. And
it has about 753,000 views. So probably by the end of this weekend, maybe over 1 million. So
yeah, and it's a really good documentary. If you guys haven't seen, I highly suggest give it a watch. And I really can't add too much to it. I mean, I've already said my piece about Kross. I like Kross. I'm a big fan of Kross. I do think maybe a little bit of that has to do with maybe some, like a sentimental value, because, our good friend Kevin, who unfortunately we lost, a few months ago, he was a friend of Kross. And,
right.
Kevin always stood by Kross, and I stand by Kross too, because again, he's a good dude. There's really not too many good people in the world, let alone the wrestling business, and he's a guy that I stand by, and he seems like a stand-up guy. So I'll support him in anything he chooses to do, whether it's wrestling or he chooses to go to Hollywood. And I know he's doing his book tour, which I heard is actually selling pretty well, and he has a movie that's coming out, which is a short film. But it's playing on like the festival circuit, and I heard pretty good things about it. If there's ever like a way I can watch it, I'll watch it, because I'm a film buff. I'm also a fan of Kross. So, but what else was I gonna say? So yeah, today, on the Ariel Helwani show, I think that's what it's called. Or just Ariel Helwani's YouTube show. So, Kross.
Yeah, it's the MMA hour.
Right. So Kross showed up and just talked about a situation.
I apologize. I'm sorry. It's not this one was not the MMA hour. It was the Ariel Helwani show. So he has 2 different platforms. So
right.
My bad. Yeah.
Don't worry about it. So Kross showed up, talked about a situation, pretty much opened it by saying, "I'm not going to speak in character. I'm going to speak as the man, and let it be known this is not a work." He's officially a free agent, so he wasn't released. He doesn't have to do the 90 days thing. He can technically, he can go anywhere he wants to go. He can literally show up on I mean, he could have showed up on Dynamite tonight if he wanted to. He could show up on, AAA this weekend. He could show up on any one show. He's currently a free agent, but the whole interview, I'll say this. Obviously, Kross is a very well-spoken, intelligent individual. Like, he's a good listen. This interview is just, I guess a part of me was hoping to maybe hear something a little spicy, kind of like how we usually do with a lot of these interviews. It's not anywhere near as scandalous as like Punk. This is more of just Kross being very, I guess, optimistic, where he let it be known, him and his wife, Scarlett, who he actually referred to as her real name, Elizabeth, that they still want to be in WWE. Like, they still want to stay there. And he also, I actually have the notes right here. Hold on. So he pointed out that last week he did get a contract offer from WWE. But basically, and he also kind of reiterated that, or no, Ariel asked him, was it that you're getting paid less? And he said no, but that wasn't really the problem. It was more so that I wanted to know the ramifications of the contract. Another thing that was kind of off-putting about the deal was that they choose to settle him and Scarlett's contract separate. They told him, we're going to deal with you first and then we'll get to her second. He was very adamant about, we should work together. I'm not just going to have me go first and have her go second. We're going to do this together and make sure we, get a pretty good deal out of this. So that was number one. And also going back to the original offer was him saying, listen, I still want to talk. I still want to keep an open line of communication. There's really no ill will, even though Ariel had asked him, like, do you feel like you're hurt by this? And he goes, yeah, I'm not going to lie. It does kind of hurt because this is his dream job. In the documentary, he ended it with saying, like, I want to work here in WWE for the rest of my life. I want to retire here. And coincidentally, his book ends with him coming back to WWE for his second run, which was like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, this documentary, it paints Kross in a good light. He comes off as someone who's very humble and appreciative, and he's not doing the, FWWE tour, even though easily he could, but he chooses not to because, at the end of the day, you never want to burn bridges. And for Kross, he still says he has a good relationship with Triple H and a few other people there. It's just some people, I guess, working in the back, higher ups, weren't too keen on him being a star. But yeah, to this day, he pretty much, throughout the whole interview, he's very adamant about, I still want to keep an open line of communication. All the booking dates that I made, that me and Scarlett made, pretty much like we didn't make too many to kind of get in the way of maybe going back to WWE. So it's not a bad interview. It's just, it got to a point where it got very repetitive. And it's just like, okay, you're kind of saying the same thing over again. And granted, I think Ariel maybe was fishing for some dirt. But Kross was very adamant of like, no, this is my story and this is how I feel. I want to do my book thing. I want to, do other bookings and be in the indies. But if, they said, hey, we want you to come back, I'll come back. And he talked about his match with Sammy at SummerSlam, which he admitted could have gone a lot better. He was even open to the idea of maybe even killing off the Karrion Kross character. But yeah, that was just an idea. But I mean, that's kind of the skinny of the whole interview. There's still people that think it's a work, which he was very clear and concise, which is like, this is not a work, but at the end of the day, people can feel how they want to feel. When Ariel asked him, is he getting offers from other companies, he said yes, but I can't tell you. But Ariel straight up asked him, did AEW call you? And he said no, because from what I heard, they still think it's a work. That I'm not that I'm not actually, a free agent or unsigned by WWE. That we're still either in cahoots or whatever. Which I don't see Kross going to AEW for multiple reasons. I think one of the bigger reasons is was it Don Silas or Don Callis for the whole thing with Scarlett, which I don't know if you're familiar with that. But
yeah, I am. Yeah.
But yeah, just overall decent interview. I mean, Kross again comes off as a pretty humble guy. Not bitter at all, even though he has every right to be. But overall, what was your opinion? What's your opinion on this whole thing? I know you didn't watch the interview, or you just said you saw clips. But overall, what's your whole opinion on this situation? How do you feel about it? The documentary that came out on Sunday, and also the Ariel Helwani thing that came out today.
Excellent documentary, very showing a side of Karrion Kross that they don't get to see often. Very human, even at the end where he read that letter to the about the fans saying that him and Scar saved their life, and you can see that he was very emotional at the end, even though he was like, "Don't film me," or also throw you out the fucking window. I guess he was talking to like the I guess like to whoever was there filming it. So I thought the documentary was fantastic. I thought. As far as the interview, like I said, I didn't see it, but what I did see was Ariel asked him if they were offered contracts. He said, "Yes, I was. Scarlett was not," and to me, that is malpractice from WWE for not offering both. And basically, they wanted him to sign first and figure out Scarlett later. So he if that's the case, if that's the biggest reason why Kross is not back with WWE, then he's 100% correct standing with his wife in that situation. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, you covered everything pretty much to the T. I really don't have anything much else to add. I mean, you went over everything in detail. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know where he goes from here at this point. Obviously, he still wants to be in wrestling. Maybe he'll do a Matt Cardona thing and just be a freelancer, going to TNA and GCW and all over the place. Maybe that'll be something he can do, but. His popularity is not going to be as much high as it is right now, unless if they do bring him back to WWE, because WWE can't have a change of heart. So
yeah,
I don't think the door is fully closed yet, like Karrion Kross coming back to WWE. But to me, it's like they saw everything that they wanted to see. They see everything that they've seen for Karrion Kross. Is his in-ring going to get better? I mean, I think at this point he's 4 years old. I don't really think that his in-ring is going to get better than what it is right now. Not to say that he's a terrible wrestler. He's definitely not that by any stretch of the imagination, but it's just as that when he does wrestle, people are not investing in what he's doing in the ring. Right. Before the matches, the interviews, all that stuff people are invested in, but when that bell rings, it just seems like people are just not invested to what he does in the ring. No matter if he's doing a great job or not, people are just not invested. So I don't know, I don't know what can change between here and now. They hire him back then, what, right? Like, do you put him in the main event picture, and then, you put him in the main event picture against, let's say, he has a title match against Cody. He'll lose, of course, right? But is the match going to be stellar? Is it going to be great? Is it going to be something to where oh man, we can put him back in his position again? I don't, right now, I don't see that. But as far as him being a presence on TV, a character, of course you're going to be missing out on that. But you gotta have somewhat of both. Both don't have to be perfect. Yeah, somewhat not necessarily go in the ring, but you have to have people investing in your matches. You can be, a great pro wrestler and have people not really react to you. We've seen it before. But you also could be a subpar pro wrestler, not really good, and have the fans react because you just have that spark, you have that charisma, you have the connection with them. So
like Jey Uso.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, that's it.
Right. I was just agreeing with you because, like, at the end of the day, you have to have a connection with the crowd. Because as long as you have that connection, they can negate, if your skills are, subpar to great. Because I said Jey Uso because Jey Uso isn't the best wrestler, but he still has that connection with the crowd.
Right.
Steve Austin was just known as a good technician in the ring, but then he got that connection with the crowd as a Stone Cold, and all he had to do was just go out there and just throw his like really bad, kicks, in the side of the ring, and the people still loved it, because he has that connection. Kross, love him, doesn't really have that connection with the fans when he has a match. He has that connection as more of a character and when he cuts a promo. And me and RJ, we talked about it last Thursday when we were doing our review show. We talked a little bit about wrestling, and RJ's a Kross guy, just like me. He's a New Yorker, and he even admitted it's just like at the end of the day, you need to have a good match. Like in-ring skills matter, and for Kross, the last time he had a really good match was in NXT, and that was 5 years ago against Finn. And what I mean by a good match, I mean like a fucking amazing match. Hasn't really had most of those lately. And, his match against Sammy, I think you said it best last week that, his match against Sammy seemed like a test. Where, if you can't have a good match against Sami Zayn, then what's wrong? Like, something's up.
Right.
So I think if Kross were to stay in WWE, and I kind of hope he does, but I think if he does stay, they need to have a plan for him. And it needs to be something more planned out rather than just, hey, we're going to have you feud against Cody. It's like, but you're going to lose. It's like, yeah, but you're wrestling Cody. It's like, have him wrestle against big guys. But what I mean by big guys is just guys that are bigger on the card and just see what you can do with them. And then, organically, work your way up to, the main event scene and see where you go from there. But all in all, I think he'll do fine anywhere he goes, wherever he chooses to go. Whether it's maybe go to TNA, maybe go to Japan, maybe go to MLW, possibly, maybe. Yeah, I have faith in Kross, being successful anywhere he chooses to go.
There was also fans online on Monday because I believe Raw was in Quebec City in Canada, and I guess there was fans there or someone, there was either fans there or just people online saying, hashtag we want Kross takeover tonight on Monday Night Raw. I don't know if I didn't hear it, but I didn't hear not one Karrion Kross chant on Monday, unfortunately.
No. There were. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to talk over you.
Well, no, and also too as well is that, like, okay, let's say Kross goes somewhere else. All these fans that were saying we want Kross, and it was trending worldwide. I think it was like number one in the sports section on X. Mm-hmm. Are those fans that were saying we want Kross, are they gonna go watch him in New Japan? Are they gonna go watch him in AEW? No, I don't think so, because it's not WWE. You want Kross until Kross is wrestling somewhere else. But like I want Kross. I want Kross in WWE. Obviously, it says that's what the we want Kross is, but again, it's not necessarily fake outrage, but it's like to the talent. How do you think the talent feels? Where it's like, oh man, these guys want me. Oh man, like, so even if I do leave WWE, they'll follow me, right? That's not necessarily the case, and that's so you're giving these wrestlers false hope that that you're gonna be there for them and cheer for them and still follow their career, and and not even half will end up following. the fans that are saying we want Kross on X, maybe only 20% will actually go follow Kross because they were actually serious about it. The other 80% will just be like, fuck, he's gone. I'll catch what he does on X. I'll see I'll look at some reels on Instagram. So I think it's kind of it's very unfortunate because a lot of these wrestlers, I know for a fact, because I know somebody locally here who knows somebody who got released from WWE within the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Stated that they were getting some online attention of like, oh, how can you release this person? And, and basically they, right now, this particular wrestler is not the lowest that they feel right now, but they feel they don't feel as good as they once they first got released because they thought they had some backups. So I'm just kind of thinking the same thing with Kross, where these fans are cheering for him or asking for him to come back. If he doesn't come back to WWE, then it's like, well, I mean, I wish him good luck, but I ain't gonna watch MLW. I'm not gonna watch, pro wrestling. No, I ain't gonna go watch GCW. So,
right. And it's just, it is that fake outrage, because I think a lot of it is just fans wanting clicks, fans wanting to, I guess, feel in the know or feel like they're in the know.
It's just fans want an engagement form on X or Instagram or whatever, so they could just try to get their their following up. I think that's one of the main reasons.
Yeah. I mean, it's like,
me personally.
Yeah, it's like with the Truth thing, where Truth got released, and all of a sudden you have people in droves saying, "How can they release Truth? Fuck WWE! I'm never gonna watch again. Fuck TKO. Fuck Triple H." Blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, I don't want to see anyone lose their job, but Truth is a 50-something-year-old man, and he's been a comedy character. Like, realistically, what did you think they were gonna do with him that they couldn't do with anyone else? And then of course they started doing the we want truth during everyone's matches, which again, I'm with you. Right. I think that's stupid. I think that's douchey. I think that's disrespectful, because it's like, other people are trying to get over. Why is it their fault that you're mad that Truth got not released? His contract didn't get renewed. People can't seem to differentiate the two. Then he comes back, and then he acts like he's a new character. And then on fucking, SmackDown on Friday, all of a sudden he's back to being Goofy Truth again. Which, the whole segment is that he sees John Cena and they do like some mime act or whatever the fuck. And they
did the clown spot from WrestleMania 9.
Yeah, exactly. So now Truth is being a comedy character again. Which
and for the record, I don't think he wanted to be a comedy character when he came back. I think it's one of the things he didn't want to be.
Yep. Again, just faux outrage. And again, I don't want to let TKO WWE completely off the hook, but it's just, again, this faux outrage of like, we want Truth, and then Truth came back, and all of a sudden, a lot of those we want Truth chants got really, really quiet. I wonder why. But now Truth is back to where he I guess once was. So you don't hear
also on top of that too as well, if I'm TKO and like Triple H, man, I'd be like, man, I ain't fucking listen to you. You ain't gonna be fucking listening to you guys.
As they shouldn't.
Why should we listen to the fans if this is gonna be what's gonna happen at the end of the day?
Right, exactly. They essentially kind of wasted a fucking paycheck. They wasted, part of the budget by bringing back someone that the fans in the moment seemed like they're mad about. Now they don't even care anymore.
Right.
So it's just, I don't know.
Terrible.
It's just like in some situations, like with Daniel Bryan, where he was getting over to the point where WWE had no choice but to listen. Same thing with Cody.
That was over months and months and months.
Right.
And they finally had to make that decision. Like, this R-Truth thing was, 3 weeks tops? He got released, he wasn't even released for a full week. Was he like released on a Sunday, back on a Friday? No, I'm sorry. He was released on a Sunday, back on a Saturday for the pay-per-view.
I believe so.
Then you got 3 weeks. You got the match against John Cena, which he didn't lose, by the way, too. Or I don't know if he did. Maybe he did lose. I don't remember. But stupid, very, very stupid.
Right, like you. In some cases, you call an audible if it's somebody that you know you can get something out of. You know, Daniel Bryan was something you could get someone out of because it's fucking Daniel Bryan. You know,
Right.
Cody, same thing. Cody's was similar because, you know, that was his spot, and then The Rock came in and took it, and the fans were like, no, fuck that. We want Cody. This is Cody's year. So they had to call an audible and give Cody his spot that he deserved. R-Truth, again, got nothing against the guy. You know, I've heard nothing but good things about him. Sweetheart of a man, but he's also a 52-year-old man that has been a comedy character for the last 17 years. So realistically, what can you do with him?
Right.
Realistically, I ask that question to anyone. Realistically, what do you think is going to happen? Like, you get one match out of John Cena, and then what? Are you going to have R-Truth go after Cody? Are you going to have R-Truth go after Drew McIntyre? And then what? So I don't know. Just I'm with you on this one. Like, Triple H and TKO should just be like, no, fuck that. You're just gonna have to live with it. Like,
Yeah.
like
If I that's what I'll do. Like if I'm TKO, because they tried it. Like, okay, Truth, and like, you know, they didn't like the character change, right?
Mhm.
But you know, I mean, it was good for one night where he shaved his head, and good moment. You know what I mean? I think when you look back at 2025, I think that's gonna be like one of those moments that you're gonna like remember, but then you're gonna remember after, like, oh, that shit, it went nowhere. You know what I mean? So, it's very, very ass backwards from fans.
yeah, exactly.
So,
But I guess since we're already on SmackDown, so on SmackDown last Friday, John Cena came out, so John Cena's a face, and then brought up Brock Lesnar, pretty much saying, I'm ready for Brock Lesnar. I'm a little afraid of him, but I'm still gonna fight him. Blah blah blah, and I'm also pretty much ready and willing to take on new challengers. And then Logan Paul came out, and Logan said, "I'll fight you at the Clash in Paris." And then Drew McIntyre attacks him, and then they both take turns attacking him, and then Cody comes out, and then John Cena makes a tag team match for later tonight. The match ended in DQ after Logan, I forgot if he punched or kicked John Cena in the balls. And then Drew McIntyre went after Cody, so it looks like Cody's first opponent and his second title run is Drew, which I'm fine with. Like Drew,
good start for
right.
sure.
Been anyone, again, Drew, I think, was our pick of male wrestler of the year, last year, and I think you kind of called it, where you said this is gonna kind of be a slow year for Drew, but eventually he's gonna get to that spot that we kind of hoped he'd get at. So I think that's kind of the way it's going. So I'm looking forward to it. A heel Drew right now versus a over, babyface Cody. I think that works. Kind of hope it's not just a one-off match. I kind of hope they kind of keep this going. Maybe till the end of the year. I mean, I know Clash in Paris is like in 2 weeks. It's the end of the month, so. I don't know. I kind of hope it goes longer and not just a one-off match, because I think these two can really carry a feud for the next few months. But I don't know. How do you feel about this feud?
That's fine. It's a great start feud for Cody. If it goes more than one match, I mean, there's going to have to be some shenanigans at the end of this match. Like, Drew has to have Cody beat, but the referee's not in the ring because of a ref bump. Something like that. To where that they can have a reason for the feud to continue. But if it's one of those situations where Cody just beats him clean, then don't think there's a necessary reason to have the match to continue. So, or the match, not the match, but the feud to continue at that point. So,
correct. As for the rest of SmackDown, decent show. Nothing really to write home about. Yeah, Talatonga and JC Mateo defeating the Motor City Machine Guns. And then Sami Zayn came out, since the show was in Montreal, to wrestle solo. He won by a roll-up. And it looks like, based on what happened on Monday, they're going to continue that feud, which I'm fine with.
yeah.
Kind of, I guess it's continuity, because Sammy was, the honorary Oos in the bloodline, so it kind of brings back a storyline. And maybe to even set up...
I know they were in Montreal, but it doesn't... I mean, the fucking... I was going to say bland split, but that's what it is. It is a bland split. The brand split doesn't mean shit no more. I mean, it hasn't meant anything in a while, but it's like... LA Knight can show up on Raw, Sami Zayn can show up on SmackDown. The MFTs can show up on Raw. It's a joke. It's a joke.
No, I agree with you. I mean, it's just I've been hearing that there was supposed to be another draft, but at this point, does it really matter? I think
it doesn't matter.
It really doesn't matter. LA Knight on Raw, I think, is fine because it gives him more to do, and he has more opponents. But we'll kind of get to Raw a little bit later. But I'm with you. It doesn't really mean shit if you're just gonna nonchalantly send people, to each other's shows. It makes sense for NXT because I guess it puts more eyes and ears on the show whenever you hear about, Chelsea Green being on NXT or other people being on NXT. Because it's developmental, so you're having a lot of your TV stars, work out with people that aren't on TV, so they can get that exposure. Or I guess people that don't really know how to work on TV. The rest of the show, you had Charlotte Flair versus Chelsea Green. After Chelsea Green interrupted Alexa Bliss's birthday celebration. And then Aleister Black cut a vignette promoting his match with Damian Priest next Friday. Next Friday. So.
Right.
But did I miss anything? No, that's about it. That's the gist of SmackDown. And then, like I mentioned, Raw was no bueno.
Well, closing with SmackDown. I mean, I know you gave your opinion about the show. I mean, I thought the show was terrible.
All right.
I thought it was, with the exception of, I will say there is build going into Clash in Paris, and so far, I think Clash in Paris is gonna be a hell of a show because you got John Cena and Logan Paul, you got Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Jey Uso, and LA Knight. That was announced on Monday. We'll talk about that in a second. But you presumably got Cody versus Drew McIntyre as well. So I mean, I think right now the show itself looks good on paper. I think they're doing a good build with some of the matches, but outside of that, SmackDown was awful. I think it was possibly the worst SmackDown of the year so far, in my opinion. So,
I think WWE television, with the exception of NXT, has not been good. It's been kind of boring lately. Like, before.
Not lately?
Yeah, lately.
You mean all of 2025?
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole episode where we talked about how bad it's been. I mean, even now, with the exception now, it's not even worth watching. It's, before it seemed like must-watch television. Now it's just like, oh, here comes Seth to talk for 15 minutes about why he's a visionary, and then he's a heel, but he wants people to sing his stupid theme song, and they sing his stupid theme song. And then Bronson stands there with shoes because he's the tribal thief. Ooh. And then Braun just stands there looking dark as fuck or orange as fuck or whatever and barks like a dog. It's just, how is this must-watch television? Oh, and all the baby faces look like boobs compared to all the heels. Like, I don't know. That's one thing about Triple H booking I don't like, is that all the heels are cool, but all the baby faces are kind of dopes. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, and granted, maybe that's probably because that's how Triple H booked himself for years, is that he had to be the cool babyface. But I don't fucking know. But yeah, Raw. You said this SmackDown was the worst of the year. I think this Raw was one of the worst Raws of the year because it was just boring. Outside of a few things on the show, I mean, the Dominic and El Grande stuff was fun. Roxanne and Io, I thought had a really good match. That was probably the only good thing about the show, and it was expected because those you're going to put those two in a ring, they're going to have a good match, and Roxanne got the win, and that's probably her first big win on the main roster as far as a singles match goes. And afterwards, Asuka, teasing a heel turn on Io, which that's something that the fans have been kind of wanting. I mean, more so in a match with Asuka and Io, but it looks like Asuka's going to be the heel, which makes sense because Io is, you can make a case that Io is your best female wrestler on the whole roster.
She's one of the best wrestlers, period.
Exactly.
On the roster.
And, you can't turn her heel, and she's over as fuck. It makes sense for Asuka to be the heel.
I think that she is the second biggest babyface to Rhea Ripley in the women's division.
Agreed. Yeah, like I said, Roxanne and Io had a hell of a match. I wouldn't mind seeing those two run it back in the future. Becky worked with Maxine for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. And I guess
so. Just real quick on that, because believe it or not, when Raw was advertised, that was the biggest thing I was looking forward to, because I wanted to see how Maxine, because she hadn't been on TV in a while wrestling a match, and I wanted to see if she improved or not. And I will say that she improved, you know what I mean, but like, to her improvement, she's still like she's not great.
No.
I think like the best thing that she did in the ring was maybe like that. I think the drop kick that she threw, she missed it obviously, but I thought like she got a great high on that drop kick. But like everything else, not everything else, but like what was really bad in the match, I didn't like the way that she tried to throw punches. I was like, oh man, don't throw punches again. Like maybe forearm shovers. Like her punches are really, really bad looking. There was two things. I can't think of the second thing. I thought that was really, really bad. But she did the sit down stunner. Thought that looked decent. Her kicks or stomps rather, looked okay. So like I said, she had a good, decent looking drop kick. But to me, it's, I don't want to say like, oh man, just cut your losses with Maxine, because like she has great facial expressions. I think that's like, I think her non-physical stuff is really good. Comedic timing, facial expression, I think that's really good for her. But I don't know. I don't know if they should like just make, like, I think one good thing you could do with Maxine is just put her with a dude and turn her heel and just make her like into a hot valet that helps the heels win matches, something like that. But I don't know if that's the vision that she wants. I don't know if the vision that's the vision that WWE wants. But but again, I didn't think her match was terrible with Becky. I thought it was I'll put it to you this way, I've seen a lot worse women's matches, especially this year. So
yeah.
So yeah, but anyway, I just wanted to comment on that because I mean that was believe it or not, that was the one thing I was looking most forward to on Raw. But again, at the end of the day, like, would I say that she passed her test as far as in the ring aspect? I think she barely, like, sliver. I think she barely didn't pass overall, but that's just my opinion.
In other words, you get an A for effort, honey. But you barely pass. We'll just say you barely pass. Speaking of looking forward to, I did forget to mention, it was supposed to be Naomi and Io for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. It was announced before Raw that Naomi, for medical reasons, couldn't make the show. And they did announce that on the show, so that's why it ended up being Io and Roxanne. There's talk about why Naomi had to miss the show. Her,
We'll probably find out maybe more tomorrow, maybe because she's doing
yeah, her and
the
Jimmy,
podcast with Stephanie McMahon, her and Jimmy Uso. So maybe
which
we'll see.
is pretty telling since they just announced this and her and Jimmy are going to be on the show. Again, I don't want to speculate, but it. I mean, you guys can already guess my tone as to what I think is going to happen. But I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm just gonna keep it to myself until I actually hear the news tomorrow. But it's just, I'm just gonna keep it at that. Just keep it at that. But uh, again, love Naomi, love her current run. I think she's doing the best character work and also the best wrestling she's been doing. I do think her when she showed up in TNA as under her real name Trinity, she learned how to get better in the ring and have good matches and get better at her in-ring psychology, and then came back to WWE and became a completely different character in over a year, to the point where it almost makes me mad because I'm like, where was this Naomi? Like, where was this personality that I never knew you had? But yeah. What else happened on Raw? Hold on, I got it right here. Yeah, I think that's about it. Bayley cut a vignette.
She had a little promo vignette, yeah.
Where I guess she's kind of still down in the dumps. Which I'll say this about the vignette. A very good vignette,
right?
But it feels like it's being wasted on this whole thing about I wasn't able to get a title shot for a title that just got introduced 5 months ago. And, I can't wrestle Becky and I can't wrestle, Lyra anymore. But I get where it's going. Bayley's going to be a completely different character, hopefully. Obviously going to be a heel. Because it'd be weird if she's cutting these promos and she just turns out to be another babyface. But I don't know. I don't see where it's weird. I misspoke. It's Lyra that can't get a title shot. But for Bayley, it's she wasn't on WrestleMania because she got attacked, quote unquote, and she wasn't on SummerSlam. So I don't know. I love Bayley. I think if you're talking about top 5, top 10, women's wrestlers in the company and maybe in general, she's on that list. Bayley can go out there and have a match. She can cut a promo. It's just she seems very uninspired lately. But I think she does need a new character change. Whatever it is, I hope it works. She's already stated more than once she doesn't want to do the hugger gimmick anymore, which I think is kind of weird because that's what got you over. I mean, I kind of assumed that she would at least bring back like a variation of it. But I don't know. What do you see? Where do you see Bayley's future in WWE? And like, if you had to if you were a booker, so to speak, how would you change her character up?
Just make her heel. Kind of make her the same thing that she was doing in the Thunderdome a little bit. Probably not as animated. And as far as where I see her on the card, I think her in the Intercontinental division is good. Maybe make her Intercontinental champion for a little bit and have her put someone brand new over, someone young and brand new over eventually.
All right. Yeah, again, I hope Bayley finds something to do. I think she can get there because, Bayley... I honestly don't see her going to AEW, but nothing would shock me anymore because I didn't think Edge would go to AEW. So, I mean, he might even come back in a few months, so who knows. But that was Raw. On the main event, you had CM Punk and LA Knight. CM Punk and LA Knight opened the show, and they were just talking, and they were just kind of saying, listen, I don't want any problems with you, but stay out of my way. And they had a nice little, promo off where, Punk was saying, yeah, and they're kind of doing the buddy cop comedy, and they end up wrestling Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed in the main event. And Braun Breaker had a funny line where he's yelling at CM Punk and LA saying, what are you gonna do? You're 40. I'll kick your ass. and then points at LA Knight, and or no, he tells CM Punk you're 47, and then he tells LA Knight you're 40. He's like, you two are 100 years combined. That's Steiner math working. So that was funny. And then the main event ended in shenanigans like it has been for the past few weeks, which, Seth comes out and attacks him, and then Jey Uso comes out with a steel chair, and then Adam Pearce announces at Clash in Paris it'll be a fatal 4-way. Seth Rollins, Jey Uso, CM Punk, and LA Knight. And couldn't it just end there? But it didn't want to end there. It had to end with LA Knight and CM Punk fighting for some reason. And then Jey Uso is just standing there and looking at him and tries to break it up, but then LA Knight hits Jay, and then they fight. And then Seth's crew comes back in and beats him up. And yeah, second week in a row, Seth's group stands tall again, which, again, another forced beatdown, which didn't really... I don't know. I still don't like this group. Like, I don't know. I still don't like this group. Seth with Paul Heyman doesn't make any sense. I mean, from a storyline perspective, maybe, but they don't have any good chemistry with each other, and just... I prefer Braun to just be the star. I want Braun to be the star. And Bronson Reed, at this point, is just like, I don't really care about anything he does anymore. Like, that's how bad it is. They're making me not like Bronson Reed anymore. But yeah, that was Raw, people. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well,
all right.
The main event. Well, I'll say this. I'll just start off with Raw overall. I thought the wrestling was excellent on the show, with the exception of the Becky and Maxine Dupree match. Obviously that was just a match, but I thought the tag team match was excellent. I thought and another thing about tag team match, like, I kind of wish that we will saw Vikingo instead of AJ Styles. They could have still had AJ Styles come out and maybe like distract Dominic or something like that, but they did a great job of promoting the Triplemania show. That's going to be this weekend too, so which is pretty good. So they mentioned like 3 or 4 times during that match. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so that match, also, the main event I thought was pretty good as well. It's a standard main event. You know what I mean? You're always going to get your tag team match in the main event as well. So, I thought, Sami Zayn and, Rusev, thought that was a fun match until the ending. Thought that was good too as well until the MOTs came out there. So, but as far as CM Punk and LA Knight and Jey Uso and everything there, the only thing I question is that, and I think I have the answer for it too. What does Jey Uso? What did he deserve to get a title match? That's the only thing I'm thinking about. But thinking about it too, I was like, well, he never actually got a rematch either at the same time as well. So I don't know. But that was the only thing that really puzzled me there. But I disagree with you about about Bronson Reed. He is more over now than he's ever been. The Shula Fala chants, the tribal thief thing is catching on with people. I mean, it may not be your thing, but it's catching on with people, and they seem to really enjoy it. So, and he's gaining a little praise on social media too as well. Braun Breaker is obviously still very popular as well. And you need a foil for the group. You're saying that Braun Breaker should be the leader of the group. Look, I don't think that right now Braun Breaker's in that position to be a leader of in a main event act. You need Seth Rollins to help him out.
Well, I said star. I prefer Braun to just be the star.
Okay, sure. Um, I think that Seth Rollins, um, being secondary in the group would be a disservice. Obviously, it'd be like a slap in the face, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, but Braun is going to be a main event player, so I think that's what this group is setting him up for. Obviously, Bronson Reed is probably not going to be in that. And also, as well, with this whole tribal thief thing and the she'll follow, I mean, Roman Reigns is going to get his lick back. I mean, I can foresee a match between Bronson Reed and Roman Reigns in Paris, which should be a very fun match. And eventually, we're probably going to get the Roman Reigns and Braun Breaker match. So, so I'm fine with it. If there's a story element to this here, I'm totally okay with it, right? But overall, I thought Raw was fine. I didn't think it was bad or anything like that, but I thought it was fine. Not certainly one of the best Raws of the year either, too. I didn't think it was one of the worst Raws of the year because, there was storyline advancement. When you have, three really good matches on here, Io and Roxanne, the tag team match, and you have Sami Zayn and Rusev. And the main event was fine, too. I don't think it was, great, but, it was fine. I can't really say that this was a bad show overall. So maybe boring, but I didn't think it was bad. So
all right. So that was Raw. Now we're gonna move on to NXT. NXT. Where are the matches? The show opens with Lash Legend and Nia Jax, which was a really good match. It was a really, really good, fun, big girl match. And Nia, I think I've said on the show more than once, I think I'm in the minority of I like what Nia's been doing ever since she came back. I think she's shown a lot of improvement. She's cut a lot of weight too, and she looks probably she looks the best she's done physically, that she's ever been. And she's had some pretty good matches and some good character work. And I think her working with Lash, it not only benefits Lash, I think it maybe even kind of benefits her as well. And I like these two working together. I really do. Obviously, you put Nia in the ring with somebody else who's kind of a big, muscular girl, i.e. a Rhea, a Bianca. I guess you can count Tiffany as a muscular girl, even though she's not big in size like a Rhea. But Nia knows how to work around that, and Nia was able to work with someone like Lash, who has shown a lot of improvement, but she's still green, and Lash looked like $1 million out there. And there was that cool spot, on the table where it looked like Lash was gonna body slam her, and then Nia counters it into a splash, and then she throws her in the ring and does what happens is she throws her back in the ring, and then Lash tries to go for a powerbomb spot after Nia does her I call it a Vader bomb. I forgot what Nia calls it, but it's basically a Vader bomb. And then Nia ends up countering it into her bomb, and does another splash and wins the match. So overall, really good match, really good opener. And again, another match I wouldn't mind seeing them run back. So, did you watch this?
Yeah, I watched NXT. Thought it was a solid open. Yeah, thought it was a solid open. It's a match that play into both women's strengths. If it's just a regular one-on-one match, with no, stipulation or whatever, they kind of get a little bit free reign in this one. So, this plays to their strengths. So, I thought it was a fun match for what it was.
All right. So the rest of the show, you had Charlie Dempsey versus Joe Hendry after Maddie, our girl Maddie, kept saying Joe Hendry's name. So Joe Hendry wins. And then next you have Josh Briggs come out to talk to Inamura, and then they set up a match for next week, which is a Philadelphia street fight Hence, they'll be in Philadelphia next week. Jordan Grace, for a sit-down interview, talks about Blake Monroe, saying that she did feel insecure, and they're going to fight at, what is it, Heat Wave? Yeah, Heat Wave, August 24th. And so there's that. And what else? You had Fatal Influence versus Kalani Jordan and Lola Vice, with some implications that, Lola Vice and Kalani could possibly be in the mix for a NXT Women's Championship match. While that's happening, you see Masha Slamovich and Ash by Elegance and the audience watching. And it was a pretty decent tag match. Lola's improving a little bit. They've been making sure she gets her, I guess her rounds in by sending her over to AAA to get some work done. And she's been.
Also the house. I mean, that's one thing that not a lot of fans really talk about, is that NXT actually does house shows over the main roster. They have house shows every weekend, so.
Which, again, the benefits of having this deal with, TNA or AAA. And do they still have a deal going with Japan?
Noah?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not the same type of deal like with. Miro is the only one really in a challenge exchange, but yeah, because Aaron Miro's he's working on NXT every week, so yes.
So I mean, I think they should take advantage of that and send more people over to Noah, but that's just me. But yeah, this is a fun match. In the end, Lola and Kendall got the win, and then it was also announced at, when the fuck was it? Oh, Heat Wave. JC will defend the Knockouts Championship against Masha and Ash by Elegance. So we got that going. Then you had Alba Fire versus Kendall Gray. I like Chelsea Green on the show. Chelsea Green aligning herself with Ethan Page and going up against Tavion Heights. Tavion told Chelsea, I don't hit a woman, but I'm going to hit, Ethan, but I'll find someone that will hit a woman. And in the end, it ended up being, what the fuck is her name? The Olympic chick. Oh, Tyra May Steele. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Tyra May Steele.
Tyra May Steele, which at first I was a little like, oh yeah, she's on. Oh yeah, I forgot about her. But
right,
obviously it makes sense because they made a big deal about her on the LFG show, former Olympic gold medalist. I'll be honest, I've only seen one match of hers, and it wasn't really anything to write home about. But then again, this is NXT. This is the performance-based show. This is developmental, so they clearly want this girl to get over. And also, the whole point of the feud is, the Canadians versus the Americans. Tavion Heights, I believe, is a Olympic gold or Olympic wrestler. What's Tavion Heights' background?
I know he's a wrestler. I think he was on the Olympic team. I'm not too sure if he. I know for sure he didn't actually medal or anything like that. But I don't know for sure if he was. I mean, I don't know if he was on the Olympic team. I know he did the Pan Am Games and stuff like that, but I don't know if he was on the Olympic team either. So.
But, I mean, it makes sense. You have two Olympic wrestlers, one of which is a gold medalist, against the Canadians. So it only makes sense. And also, you want these two to get over. These two, you want them to be your future, especially the girl, the Olympic gold medalist. So, and I think if anyone can do it, it can be Chelsea and Ethan. I think they're good at really getting people over. So. And the rest of the show, you had the main event, which was Dark State versus Javon Evans, Moose, Obafemi, and Trick Williams. I thought it was a fun main event. The whole story going in is that Trick doesn't really care to play well with others, but he just wants to get his hands on Dark State. And it was a fun main event. The ending being that Dark State was taking out Javon, but Trick just stood there and watched it happen. So that's how the show ended, was Dark State got the big win, which I'm not particularly fond of. I don't really know why they're still getting pushed, but that's just me. But that was NXT. How'd you feel about NXT?
It was a solid show. The best show out of the three, for sure.
Yeah, that's usually the case. But
Usually it was like if I had to give like SmackDown maybe like a 2 out of 10, Raw maybe like a 4.5 to 5 out of 10, and NXT was probably like a 6.5 out of 10. Which, whew, man, it's rough right now. I'll just say that.
yeah, it certainly is rough. Did anything of interest happen on? Okay, so Dynamite. I know Edge and Christian reunited. I did see that.
I mean, I remember I got home like about 20 minutes before the show started, so I don't know what happened on AEW.
Well, I saw clips and stuff on Twitter. So Edge and Christian reunited. Obviously, they can't be Edge and Christian. They have to be Cope and Cage. Whatever. It was announced that MJF will go after Hangman at Worlds Collide for the title, I'm presuming. And that's really all I saw. I can't really think of anything else that was of interest to talk about. So that's my short little review of Dynamite. But also this Saturday, what's going on. Is it Saturday? Yeah, Saturday is AAA's Triplemania. Triplemania 33. It will be, I believe, at 1 p.m. Central Time. And so far, there's 6 matches, one of which is a Bardal Cup, which participants are TBA. But the other matches that have been announced are Flammer versus Fabi Apache versus Natalia in a 3-way match for the AAA Reina de Reinas Championship. I have no idea what that is. I'm assuming it's a women's title of some sort. But who do you see winning this match?
Yeah, that's the women's championship. Yeah.
So who do you got?
Oh, we're doing predictions.
Yeah, sure. Why not? I mean, if you want to.
Sure. I didn't know we were doing that. Lady Flammer.
I'll go with her too. Singles match for the AAA Latin American Championship: El Mesias versus El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr.
I don't know.
I guess I'll go with the champion, El Mesias. Street fight for the AAA World Tag Team Championship: Los Garzas versus Pagano and Psycho Clown.
I will just go with the champions.
Yeah, same. Mixed trios match: The Judgment Day, Finn Balor, JD McDonough, and Raquel Rodriguez, with Roxanne Perez versus Mr. Iguana, Nino Hamburguesa, and Lola Vice. I'll go with the baby faces, I guess.
Got the heels.
All right. And the main event, 4-way match for the AAA Mega Championship: El Hijo del Vikingo versus Dominic Mysterio versus Dragon Lee versus El Grande Americano.
I got Vikingo.
Go with Dom. Dom's over as fuck.
You think Dom is gonna win based off of reaction alone, or like, are you predicting because you know Dom's gonna win, or you think he's gonna win?
Dom's gonna win. Dom's over as fuck. He's not. I mean, he's also the best he's ever been in the ring. So RJ,
I see him winning. I can definitely see him winning for sure.
RJ told me something interesting. RJ told me something pretty interesting. So he has some contacts in Mexico who follow the Mexican wrestling scene, and they told him that Mexican wrestling fans don't
Vikingo. Yeah,
they're not big on Vikingo. Matter of fact, they don't like white meat baby faces.
Yeah.
You know, they love Dom, and they
Right.
also love El Grande Americano. Like they get that they get what the gimmick is. They understand it. It's just it's weird because it's always like the non fans that don't seem to get it or get offended by it, but the ones that are fans understand it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like when offensive jokes, you know, it's always like the ones that aren't a part of the, I guess, the narrative seem to get mad, but the ones that are like, we get it, it's funny. So
I think WWE, they want to end this Triplemania very in a way where it's gonna be talked about. You know what I mean? So I could see them, having Dom win, but I mean, I just think that as far as your brand itself, because Dom ain't gonna be in Mexico every single show, and also be Intercontinental Champion. I think just having Vikingo win and continue, turning the torch down, and for AAA, I think I think it's more beneficial for the brand overall if they just keep it on Vikingo.
I mean, I can see them keeping it on Vikingo because, like what you just mentioned, made sense. Which is why I was going for Dom to lose at SummerSlam, because it's like that would have given him
Yeah,
more
if he would have
time.
lost at SummerSlam, I agree. I think for sure Dom was gonna win. I don't know like how. I don't know how that's gonna benefit Dominic. I don't. I mean, it does look good on the resume, but does his status go higher on the main card? Like, oh, he has 2 belts. He's AAA Mega. Like, how can he be the AAA Mega Champion, the same championship that Del Rio won, and Ray Phoenix won, and Kenny Omega won, and you have it on Dominic, but you don't make him into a credible threat in the main event on your show, Raw. It's kind of, I don't know. To me, I think this, I don't think it's a great idea overall for the brand. I may be wrong. If Dom wins it, I know it's gonna be a hell of a reaction if he does win. It's gonna be probably one of the reactions of the year, right? But long term, I think that you got to keep it on Vikingo. Sign some more folks to AAA, and start building up brand new Mexican talents, and just go from there. But or maybe they'll do a one-on-one match, between Vikingo and Dom, and let's say Dom loses the title to AJ Styles, and then maybe he could become AAA Mega Champion. And I think that'll be better for him at that point. But just as of right now, I just don't see the benefit overall for both things, because I think it won't be a benefit for Dom overall. It won't be a benefit for AAA as a brand. So, just my opinion.
Do you see maybe an AJ Styles run in where he screws over Dom?
You can, yeah, but I mean, you could do that. I don't know if that's needed for a match like this, because of I just think they want to kind of make it Vikingo's moment too at the same time. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. I wouldn't be opposed to it. I wouldn't be opposed to it at all. But I just don't understand the need for that.
True. Okay. But yeah, that show is this Saturday. It's gonna be on YouTube at 1 p.m. Central Time. I believe that's the time. But yeah, those are all the shows. Do we have any news?
One news topic that came up a couple days ago. So on September the 20th, and this comes from Via Post Wrestling, unannounced WWE will take place on Saturday, September the 20th, in Indianapolis, Indiana. This will be the same day as AEW's All Out pay-per-view in Toronto. So it seems like WWE seems to be trying to do some counter programming yet again. And the rumor match for that particular show in Indianapolis could be Cena versus Brock Lesnar.
Mhm.
Also, as well, this is coming from Brian Alvarez, Wrestling Observer, I guess the radio show, the afternoon radio show that they do, is that WWE may be changing the planned date of John Cena's final match so that it's on the same day as AEW's World's End, which is on December 27th. Alvarez says, and I quote, originally the final John Cena match was going to be in early December at Saturday night's main event. This is not confirmed, but it does look like there is now a discussion that that date will be moved head to head with AEW World's End. And again, it's coming from Brian Alvarez in the Wrestling Observer radio, the afternoon show. So with both of those there, WWE seems to be trying to counter program AEW's big shows. I don't think it's necessarily, to me, I don't really think it's necessarily because of they want you to watch one over the other. They're trying to get new fans over, because the fans who watch AEW, they're just going to watch their show. They don't really care to go watch, what's going on for WWE. And the WWE fans don't really care about what's going on with AEW. They're just going to watch their WWE show. I think what it is that WWE, they're just trying to get the last say. They just want the fans to talk about WWE more than what AEW is doing. So I get it, but also at the same time, it's like, why do you keep worrying about what AEW is doing? Every step of the way, they're not hurting your business at this point. That's just me, but I don't know. What's your thoughts about the WWE PLE that hasn't been announced yet for September the 20th, and also which is going up against All Out, and then also possibly John Cena's final match going up against World's End. What are your thoughts about those two things?
I don't know. I really don't think WWE should be running shows while other shit's going on, because AEW, yes, they still have their fans, but AEW needs all the help they can get at this point. And so for WWE to be like, we're going to counteract because blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, you're being petty. Like, even I have to admit this is petty.
Right.
So I kind of wish they wouldn't do it, personally, but it is what it is. And again, just AEW fans are going to care about what's going on in their show more than they care about WWE, and vice versa. So I don't know. I kind of hope they don't. I mean, at this point they're going to do it. We're just waiting on an announcement. I kind of hope they don't, because it's just, they're not really a threat to you at this moment. They're still trying to get back in the good graces with people, but it is what it is. That's just how they do things, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
all right, well, that's all I got.
All right, so yeah, we kind of finished everything a little early, so I guess we have enough time to, let me take a look at something before I make the next decision. See if we have any questions. No, actually we don't have any questions.
Yeah, I think we did all the questions last week. Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna do something that we had on the docket a few weeks ago, but we ran short on time. So we're gonna do our own Busflip. We haven't done a Busflip in a while, and it seems appropriate to kind of do some summer cleaning, so to speak. But I have the WWE roster open here, so it starts with the Raw roster. So Justin, are you ready for the Busflip?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to start with the Raw roster on the men's side. AJ Styles, I guess the choices are keep, fire, or give him an office job, or I guess however you choose to do it. But AJ Styles, obviously keep, because he's going to retire pretty soon.
Agree. Yep.
Akira Tozawa. I'm waiting for you.
Oh well, no, you went first with AJ Styles. I thought you were just gonna go first here. So
But I guess not AJ Styles, Akira Tozawa. He's a comedy guy. I mean, you need bodies, so I guess keep him as just a guy to put over other guys.
I agree. There you go.
So Austin Theory, he's hurt, so obviously don't fire. But once he comes back, I mean, do something with him. But if it doesn't work after a year, I would say maybe cut your losses. But for the moment, keep.
Right. Yes.
Braun Breaker, obviously keep.
Yep.
Bronson Reed, obviously keep, but just
Yep.
keep making them, just make them interesting. The Creed brothers, keep, but I don't know. After another year, if there's really nothing else you can do with them, I don't know. See what else you can do with them. Maybe send them back to NXT for more fine tuning. Chad Gable, obviously keep, because he's fucking Chad Gable, who's awesome. And he's hurt, also. What were we going to say about Chad Gable?
No, yeah, I agree. Yep.
CM Punk, fired. I'm playing, keep CM Punk.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have a job for life. Cruz Del Toro, I guess the LWO, Del Toro, and who's the other dude?
Joaquin Wild. Dragon Lee.
I mean, Dragon Lee keep. Del Toro and Wild.
I'll keep them all because I mean you need bodies to send over to Mexico. So for AAA.
True. Dom, obviously fucking keep.
Yeah.
Eric and Ivar. They need something.
I'll cut them just because I mean not because they're bad or anything. It's just that what else can you do with them? Yeah, at this point, yeah.
Right. So, I guess the Judgment Day in general: Finn Balor, JD McDonough.
No, I'm keeping everyone from Judgment Day, so I think that's easy.
Raquel, Roxanne, and Liv obviously keep them. Grayson Waller, I mean, I think you've already wasted. I think you've wasted all your Grayson Waller resources. Like, what can you do with them? So I don't know. I'd probably just cut them.
I'll keep them for now.
All right. Gunther, fuck that guy. No, Gunther, keep him obviously because he's Gunther.
Yeah. Yep.
Ilya, I hope he comes back pretty soon. Feels like he's been out for a while.
Yeah.
When he comes back, apparently there's talk of him working with AJ. So, yes, please. So, obviously keep Ilya.
Yeah.
Jey Uso, yeet. But obviously keep him because he sells merch. So, is that a yes for you on Jay?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
The New Day.
Well, the biggest star in wrestling. I mean, be kind of powerful. Let him go. Yeah.
The New Day, Xavier Woods and Kofi.
Keep.
I'd be interested to see what they can do with Xavier, because Xavier... I'd buy Xavier more as a heel, more than I do Kofi, but I think these are your guys that are going to stay in the company for pretty much until, forever. So obviously keep him. Logan Paul, keep, even though people still hate him.
Yeah.
But he's fucking Logan Paul.
Keep him. Yeah,
and he has
keep
great
him.
wrestling matches, and he gets you healed.
Keep him.
So, Ludwig Kaiser.
Yes, keep him.
El Grande Americano. Just say keep.
Didn't we already do on Grand Americano or no?
No, we didn't.
Oh.
He's separate. Wink, wink. He's his own star, so obviously keep him. Penta, keep, because he sells merch and he's over. Pete Dunne.
Man. I love Pete Dunne, but I don't know what they're gonna do with the guy, man. Like, I mean, well, no, you know what? Keep him for now. How about that? I'll just say that.
He's listed as a producer for Speed and AAA. So I think they have like a backup plan for him. So yeah,
I
keep
mean,
him.
he's not even in his 30s yet,
So I mean,
or maybe he is in his 30s finally. But I mean, let me see. Okay, he's 31. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, obviously they like the guy, so yeah, keep him. If you have another job for him, keep him. Rey Mysterio, he's gonna retire there, so obviously keep him until he retires.
Yep.
Rusev, keep him, but find something interesting to do with him because the whole "I just want to beat up everybody" thing is kind of wearing off a little bit. So find some.
It's fine. I think the role that he's brought back for is I'm totally okay with.
Okay.
Now everybody has to be in, detailed, complex stories. People have a certain role in the show. He's fulfilling his role to very, very good right now. So I have no issue with what they're doing, Rusev, actually.
Sami Zayn,
Keep.
keep. Seth freaking Rollins. I don't know. Triple H, it almost seems like that's his son, so he ain't going nowhere. So keep him.
Yeah, of course. I mean, he's one of the biggest stars in the company. You got to keep him.
Mm-hmm. Sheamus, he's gonna retire there. I can already tell. So
Yeah,
keep him.
sure.
Tyler
Sure.
Bate,
Sure, keep him.
yes.
Bate's still in his fucking 20s. Like, he hasn't even... I don't think he hasn't really had an opportunity on the main roster. He's 28 years old.
Are
28.
they still doing that tag team, the New Catch Republic? No, right? Wasn't that him and Pete Dunne?
Yep.
Okay.
But they're the second and third Grand Americanos. So
Okay. All right. So the women's Raw roster: Asuka, obviously keep.
I'll just say this right now. I am from the Raw's women's roster. I am keeping every single woman, probably with the exception of Maxine Dupree.
Okay. So Bayley
I'm
keep.
keeping them all except for Maxine Dupree.
All right. So Bayley keep. Obviously Becky is Becky. Ivy Nile. I mean, again, you need bodies, so keep her. Io, fucking obviously. Kari, I can probably do without her. Liv Morgan is Liv Morgan. Lyra is Lyra. Maxine, I would probably cut my losses or just have her be a manager. Naomi, obviously keep. Natalia has a job for life, so can't bother with that. Nikki Bella, they love and adore and worship the ground she walks on. Raquel, I think she's gotten better. Rhea's fucking mommy. Roxanne, obviously keep. Stephanie keep. Zoe's currently hurt, and I don't know. I have a soft spot for Zoe. I've always liked Zoe Stark, so I would say maybe keep her, because again, you can't fire everybody. You need some bodies, so keep her. And then, all right, so SmackDown Men's Division. All right, Aleister Black, keep. I like the heel character that they're doing, so keep him.
Yep.
Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley, and who the fuck is the other dude? Chris Sabin.
Chris Sabin, keep.
All right, keep. Andrade,
Keep.
keep. Well, the AAA World Tag Team Champions, Angel and Humberto, obviously keep.
Yeah.
The Street Profits, I would say keep them as talents, but I kind of want to see Montez just be a single star at this point. At this point, like, I think the Street Profits have kind of, to me, I think they've run their course, and I would rather just see Montez as a singles guy. I
don't think we're gonna get a Montez singles run.
That's just how I feel. Angelo, I think, is kind of proven that he can back it up in the ring. But I think Montez is the guy, in my opinion. Here's a guy I'm surprised is still on the roster, Apollo Crews. It's showing that he's a torn pectoral.
Well, he's been there for over 10 years and they haven't done shit with him. I love Apollo. I think he's a great in-ring guy, but this would probably be one of the ones I will let go.
Yeah, same. It's like...
That's the one. He sticks out like a sore thumb on this roster.
Right, like he had a lot of hype and fanfare coming in, and then gets to the main roster, had some success. I mean, he was an Intercontinental Champion, a U.S. Champion, and then they turned him into Black Panther for whatever reason. Then he went back to not being Black Panther. And
I mean, that was his biggest moment in roster.
Yeah,
that was the best time that was the best that he was on the main roster.
Yeah.
He had a WrestleMania match. He had a one-on-one WrestleMania match.
Yeah, he had a Mania moment, and so it's now it's time to, again, since he's hurt, obviously you can't fire him because that'd be fucked up, but cut your losses. You know, like, what else can you do with them? You know? What else? Fraxium, obviously keep.
Yeah. That's the best tag team in pro wrestling. You don't get rid of them.
The Wyatt Six.
No, keep them.
All right. Here's an interesting name, Carmelo Hayes.
Keep them. ain't interesting to me.
I'd say interesting. I'd say interesting because he's kind of come up in that discussion of fans doing the whole, you know, we want Melo to be a main eventer, and it's like, okay, slow your roll.
Not everybody can be a main eventer.
No.
Not everybody can be, like, there's only so many spots at one time. Once guys like Cody and Seth and guys like that, once they're finally gone, then there's gonna be guys like Braun Breaker and Carmelo Hayes and like back in like 1990 or 1990, right? Who was on top of WWF at the time? It was Warrior, it was Macho Man, it was Hogan, and what are the other guys are doing back then? You got your Bret Hart, you got your Shawn Michaels, right? Undertaker was just coming in. Were those guys main eventers, right? No. Bret was still in the Hart Foundation. You still had the Rockers with Shawn Michaels, right? You know what I mean? Diesel was playing Oz in WCW. You got the Diamond Stud, or maybe at the time it was probably still Big Scott Hall, over there in WCW, AWA, where he was in 1990. So it's like, not everybody's going to be at the top at one point. John Cena was in the mid-card at one point. Randy Orton was in the mid-card at one point. So these guys that are, are not on TV or barely getting time, they will have their moment. And I think guys like Jacob Fatu and Carmelo and Braun Breaker and just all these different names, Trick Williams who's on NXT, and Ethan Page and Ricky Saints, those guys are gonna end up being the main eventers in the next 5 to 7 years. So I think we gotta give it time.
All right. I'd keep Melo. I like Melo. Cody Rhodes. Fuck that guy.
Keep.
Whoa. Damian Priest.
Keep.
Obviously keep, but lately he's felt kind of stagnant to me. But obviously keep because, they love him some Damian Priest. Where am I at? Drew McIntyre, obviously keep.
Yep.
The Yes Boy, Pretty Deadly.
Keep.
They're really entertaining, man. It's just like, I don't get what they're doing wrong. Because they can have good matches. And like I mentioned, they're really fucking entertaining and funny, but they seem to get lost in the shuffle, with all these, tag teams on SmackDown. So, I guess just like personal bias. I kind of hope they do something with them. Jacob Fatu, obviously keep.
Yeah, keep for sure. Yeah.
I don't think I said it right, but whatever. The MFTs. Obviously, they're not going anywhere.
Yeah, okay, you keep them all. Keep them all. I mean, you got so much talent in there. You can be able to do something with all of them. So, Solo, JC Mateo, obviously, Girls Destiny, Hikuleo. I
Uh,
think they all have a purpose.
no Yeet, Jimmy Uso.
Keep.
Yeah, keep. Let's see, John Cena. Well, he's gonna be gone in
No,
a few months.
no, I mean, I don't think that one doesn't matter. So
Yeah, John Cena. You can't see him apparently. DIY.
keep.
Kevin Owens. Keep.
Oh yeah, obviously, yeah.
LA Knight. Yeah, keep him.
Yep. Yep.
The Miz.
Keep.
Do you think that they're kind of slowly, I guess, trying to retire the Miz from in-ring competition?
Possibly.
Maybe have him be like a manager or a commentator or an agent. It kind of
Yeah,
seems that way to
right,
me.
yeah. Maybe, yeah.
So yeah. Our truth.
Our truth. I mean, keep them, but I mean, I don't know.
I don't know, do whatever the hell you want with truth. Randy Orton has a job for life, so I don't think he really matters.
Yep.
Ray Phoenix, keep.
Yep.
Roman Reigns, obviously keep.
Well, I mean, I think that's one we can actually skip.
Right.
Fire Roman Reigns. Yeah, just have him go to AEW. Just change the face of wrestling.
And I don't know, make sure people aren't stealing his shoes. Santos Escobar.
Yeah. Keep.
Yeah, keep him. Nakamura. Yeah, they can just cut their losses with him. Goodbye.
I disagree with that, but keep.
Uh,
You're not thinking about the Japanese market, the influence there. He's the only male Japanese star on the main roster. That's so when they go to Noah, like it's and they need to do PR and then have them do one-off matches. I mean, and have them do recruiting. Nakamura's the guy, so.
I think Io has surpassed him as the biggest Japanese star.
No. Male star.
I guess.
I mean, he's the only Japanese. Who else is a Japanese male star on the main roster? That's worth a damn. Tozawa.
The AJ Styles. I'm kidding. I guess I don't know. Keep him for PR reasons, but other than that, I don't really see the use for him. That's just me. And then I think that's the male roster. The female roster.
The female roster, I'm just gonna say is very quickly. I will keep every single woman, probably with the exception maybe Michin. Nothing against Michin, but But
all right, so Chelsea's.
Yeah, but I think everyone else, I think I'll keep. Yeah.
So let me just run through it. Chelsea Green and her Secret Hervis, obviously keep them. Alexa Bliss, she makes money, so keep her. B-Fab, I would cut her. How do you feel about B-Fab?
Yeah, I will keep every single woman on the roster, probably with the exception of Michin.
All right, Bianca Belair, we can skip that. Candice LeRae, I think she'll keep her job because of Johnny. Triple H loves Johnny Gargano. That's like his son. So he's staying, and so is Candice. Charlotte, obviously keep. Chelsea keep. Julia keep. But she's the Women's United States champion, so do something with that, please. Jade Cargill, figure out what you want to do with her. But I guess at the moment, keep. Kiana James, she has a new role. She's Julia's, I guess, her representative or whatever the fuck. But she's hot, so keep her. Michin, I'm kind of with you of like, what else can you do with this girl? She's not over. She doesn't get a reaction. She's not terrible in the ring, but I don't know. I don't know what you do with Michin. I think if she got cut, I don't think anyone would really. Well, I don't want to say anyone, but like I think if you cut her, it wouldn't really be much of a loss. Nia Jax, keep her. Piper, I already said her Hervis. Tiffany Stratton, obviously keep. Zelina Vega, fire as a wrestler and have her be a manager. I think that's where she was better. Whenever she was Andrade's manager. But that's everybody. That's everybody on both main rosters. So I think we got through everything, and we are currently at an hour 35. So I think we should call it a night pretty early.
Yep.
Which I'm proud of us for getting everything done in under an hour 40. So I want to thank everybody for showing up. I want to thank everybody who watches and subscribes on the YouTube channel, which I promote it. I do my best to try and promote it. Currently, we're at 157 subscribers. It's been going up, so that's pretty cool. The goal is to try to get to at least 200 or over. So let's get those numbers up. And like I mentioned, we're live every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Central Time here on YouTube. And you can also catch the audio portion, which usually goes up the next day in the morning. On Spreaker, on iTunes, on Spotify, and pretty much everywhere, anywhere that you can get your podcast fix. But you can also catch the replay stream of the show that we do here automatically. So, and Twitter X.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about YouTube for sure.
Yes, sir. Twitter X. I still call it Twitter. I don't know, whatever. It's a natural reaction. DY Experience. Yeah. And I'm verified. Granted, I'm paying for the premium, but it's worth it. It has its perks. And what else? And just shout out to all of our friends that do support us. Shout out to Jeff Littman. He currently has a show with Lufisto, the women's wrestler Lufisto, on the Wrestling Soup Network, where they review the LFG shows. So check those out if you haven't already. And he also has his other shows, which is Garden of Doom, which I believe he changed the name of. I think it's Garden of Thought. If I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna get yelled at pretty soon by Jeff. He's like, "How do you not remember my show?" And next Sunday, presumably me and Jeff will be doing the NXT show, the Heatwave show. So look for that to happen. I just gotta confirm with him. Pretty sure he's gonna say yes. And then RJ, me and RJ do a show together. It's Friendly Neighborhood Marks, which is usually every other month. We try to do it every other week, depending on what there is to talk about. Usually it's a movie show, but I usually try to splice in a little bit of wrestling there. And then RJ also has his other shows, which I believe is the Savage Squad show, and he also has a Twitch stream, which every Thursday morning he streams his CZW show. So look for that to happen. And Ruben Prime, as you know, we do Culture Attack, which I need to get in touch with him to see when we're going to get it done. I know at the moment it's on hiatus, but I need to talk to him about it.
He's been the highest, growing his beard out more, making it more luscious.
Yeah. I mean, how sexier can that beard get? Gonna be as sexy as his voice. And then also shout out to Mish from Wrestling Soup, who is the reason why we're on this channel. And the reason why we're essentially keeping the lights on, or why the lights are on, so to speak. But thank you, Mish. And just shout out to all of our friends, John Draper, and forever shout out to Kevin Castle. We miss you, we miss you, Kevin. We do miss you, and we love you. But that's enough of me. Justin, tell them about the Spine of Busters.
Yes, everyone follow me on Spinebuster Tees on Instagram. Check out what I got and see what I have inside of my little shop, which is Spinebuster Tees at Wonderland of the Americas, aka Crossroads Mall. Used to be called Crossroads Mall back in the day. Come and check out, see everything that I have inside my shop. Over 80 different t-shirt designs at your disposal, at your hands, where you can come shop. But also I have trading cards, action figures, Funko Pops, lucha masks, hats, shorts, a little bit of everything in my shop. Autograph 8x10s and vintage magazines. Everything's available in my shop. Come check it out. It's a good time. Come in there and we can shoot the shit, talk about wrestling as well, which is always fun. But yes, that is at Spinebuster Tees at the Wonderland of the Americas. Spinebuster Tees on Instagram and spinebustertees.com.
Yes, sir. All right, people, we are done, and we will see y'all next week, where presumably we will be talking about the Triplemania show as well as whatever comes to mind, and also doing predictions for Heatwave. So, yep. All right, people, we're done. We'll see y'all next week. Peace out, and have a fun week. Have a fun and safe weekend. Peace out.
Peace.